Those guys were Pittsburgh creatures that you know, lurked about places that I frequented, and I knew them through, you know, Creta Borgia had opened for Don Cab in the past, you know, so we all had met before and knew each other, and then even through other projects and other bands, we had shared bills, you know, performing together, and I even went on tour with Creta Borgia as a bass player for one tour they had booked, and the person they had wasn't able to commit to the booked dates, and that was an interesting tour. That tour was bad enough I could have formed opinions about those guys where I was like, you know, that's it, I can never work with these guys again, because it was a really bad tour. But it must have not been that bad, because I was able to, the next time conversations started to go in the direction of, are you thinking about starting up the old Caballero Beast again? You know, they were all eager and willing and interested, and so that you know, that formed that new iteration of the band. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Took a while, actually, if you think about it, because we started playing live dates in the fall of 2003, and then it was probably 2 years later we only recorded half of World Class Listening Problem, and then a year after that we recorded the second half, and then the year after that it was finally released in 2006. Oh, wait, that's... Started playing in 2003. It took 3 years. It took 3 years, and it was finally released in 2006. It took 3 years of that new band to make that first new band record. A lot of pleasant surprises, though, too. Like, hey, I've never been in a band that could do this, you know, or you know, do it like that, you know. Before I lose my train of thought, what you just made me think of is I wrote a lot of the riffs for Railroad Cancellation. I didn't write any of the riffs for Palm Trees, but that song would have been cutting room floor had I not stopped people and said, hey, no, that's good, don't throw that away. Oh, wait, like, can we do that? Can we try that? Yeah. Or that song would have been nothing if I hadn't have, like, salvaged those pieces, or they would have all been thrown away. And then the Earth, Wind, and Fire kind of tribute thing was my idea to put that in there. So. Okay, that was a joke. Oh no, it really happened. It was my one grandmother was telling my other grandmother about a time I recruited one of two twins, these kids that lived down the alley behind us that were referred to as the twins. I recruited one of them because of his petite size to lower him down through the ceiling vent of our mobile trailer in the driveway, so that we could, you know, throw a prepubescent or post-adolescent party and, you know, drink homemade wine or whatever the hell we did to get in trouble. And she was explaining to, my one grandmother was explaining to my other grandmother how, and he lowered the twin down through the vent to break into the trailer. And the other grandmother was aghast. She was, and something about that just, I thought it would be a great Don Cab title. We like to name our children these eccentric names historically as the creators of songs in the band Don Cab, is who I mean when I say we. A little bit more so than somebody that had penned a whole, you know, prose of lyrics, you know, because I mean, when you're an instrumental band, you have that. It's like this extra space that needs filled up, I guess, when it comes, since there's no lyrics, the titles tended to be really more so than the normal process of naming a song, I think. was more eccentric in a band like Don Cap.
How about acting? What's the story of that one?
Same deal. It's just, well, I just, you know, some of them come out of nowhere. I mean, they come out of the subconscious, you know, ether or whatever. That would be one I can't say where that came from. It just shows up, and you notate it, and you go, well, this isn't to be thrown away, because it's right there in your face, and then you have these songs that need named, and so boom, it happens like that. Yes. Not at the White Room anymore. White Room, downtown Detroit, folded up when I think Vintage Audio King shared the room, the other half of the floor of the building. And I don't know if Al was still a partner in Vintage Audio King or that he had dissolved his partnership with them, but that was, he had always had Rust Belt Studios as a pet studio out in Royal Oak. And I had recorded there with other things before, like other projects, but no, just like maybe just like an overdub of one track onto a reel of something that was recorded somewhere else. So I had been to Rust Belt before, but it wasn't much. It was just a little bit of a pet studio. But then when White Room was finally done, he made Rust Belt into his as real as possible studio, and that's what it is today. It's, you know, it's a real thorough recording studio. Yeah, I mean, you know, your young person fuse is burning there all through your 20s and your 30s, and so I was still mid-30s, and so I was still peppy enough to like take anything that, you know, a tour could throw at me, and so I enjoyed myself. I mean, I had too much fun, you know. Price to pay, kind of too much fun, you know. Those were those formative years, though.